Konnichiwa, Vetsan. We are live here at channelattitude.com for your Impact Attack. Yes, I said it. I said it. It is your Impact Attack. And I am the third letter in the VBC, or the VBC, Colin. I am joined each and every week by the V part, and he is here to my left and or my right. I'm not exactly sure how you're seeing this, but he is the 7-time Undertaker Druid Arm Wrestling Champion, the Vet. Ladies and gentlemen, Vet. He's a Rip Rogers guy. It's okay, Vet. Tell him how at WrestleMania you took down the house and defeated all the other Druids in one night in an arm wrestling match.
There was way more than 7 of us. I think there was like 25.
Dude, I'm trying to downplay it.
Well, I only beat 7. So...
There were only the 7 worthy.
Yes, only 7 stepped up. Well, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you? We played some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles together. I think you had 2 other randos in the lobby, though, right?
2 other randos. No, it was... one of those was Media M5 that you would know from the chats here. One of them was my friend Adrian, who also shows up in the HMG chat sometimes.
I've seen Adrian every once in a while, yeah.
That's right. So I had the lobby open, had a few invites out. People could jump in. Only people I knew, though.
So my question to you about the audio. So if we had partied on PlayStation, we could have talked to each other. But in the game, if you do just like an open party, you can't talk to each other through the chat?
No, because the PlayStation has cross chat, so you don't have to do that anymore. This isn't like the PS3 days where you had to be in the game that you were playing to be in a chat. Now you just party on the PSN and then you can play across all games. Just
okay.
Yeah.
No,
there was an open thing for that too, but you just didn't jump in.
See it. Yeah, I didn't.
Last time you said you didn't have a working mic and all these things, so
I had a working mic this time. I was ready to roll.
Yeah, well, we were ready to roll, but
we were ready to roll.
You didn't roll. You just you came to a standstill and gathered moss.
I'm having a great night. I had, as I was telling the chat before the show, had a delicious. You can't see that because of the.
Oh yes.
Here, let me hold it in front of me because the crowd at Wrestle Kingdom just destroys this cup. I didn't know they had cookouts in Japan, but apparently I can enjoy a delicious Heath Bar milkshake in the middle of Tokyo at Wrestle Kingdom. Vet. They're setting up quite early. I didn't know they began setting up for Wrestle Kingdom. In end of June, beginning of July. This like a thing, like every year. Did you know about this?
Yeah, especially since they were just here last night in the United States. Did you catch any Forbidden Door?
No, I don't watch garbage.
So Elizabeth has a question. She says, when a person is being pinned close to the ropes, is the ref ever supposed to be between the person pinned and the ropes? Well, I don't know if "supposed to" is the right word. I mean, in the best case scenario, the ref would always be in a place where they can see the pinned person's shoulders. And if that happens to be between the ropes, then so be it. I've even seen referees slide out of the ring to count if the guys were too close to the ropes,
As long as you're hitting the canvas of the ring, I guess that's all that matters, right? Can you register the count on the outside? Could they count on the mat on the outside?
I think so. I mean, who knows?
Brandon, Brandon's reffed. Brandon would know.
if you see those, like, every once in a while you'll see somebody post on Twitter like the old NWA rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the only, I think that's mostly the only rules that wrestling had to go by. A lot of it was just word of mouth, I guess, and then of course when the WWF got big, they just, you know, decide to do whatever they want, and then everybody kind of follows that. And her point, I guess Elizabeth's point, is that on Raw, Tamina was close to the ropes and the ref slid between her and the ropes, but he was in the way of her being able to grab it. So yeah, that's a good point. Well, they shouldn't be able to obstruct the wrestler. If that's what you're talking about, then yes, that's a bad ref. I wonder who that ref was. I wonder if it's one of the refs I hate. I haven't watched Raw yet, so I don't know.
Probably. But you're not going to ask who flew me out to Japan?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know that you were still on that bit. I thought we kind of moved off of the bit, but we want to go back to your your hilarious bit about having a picture of the Tokyo Dome as a background. Oh, who flew you out to Japan, Colin?
My good buddy Dave Meltzer.
Oh. And if you're listening on audio only, this is a stupid bit that nobody cares about.
Meltzer's
just like nobody cares about what Dave Meltzer has to say.
Oh, people care about Dave Meltzer. You don't be mean. You be nice. Nice to Dave Meltzer.
Well, Seth Rollins said nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares what Seth Rollins has to say. You know what, Vet? You know what? You know what? Who cares? You know who cares? The chat fucking cares, Vet. And for the chat tonight, I've got a watermelon airhead. I've got some real Mexican Coke. And while you say nice things about the chat, and I hit buttons depending on what chat members pop up and when and where, I'm going to be enjoying these delicious treats. First off.
Okay.
You know, it's you got to use the real bottle opener on the Mexican Coke. Real Mexican Coke.
That's right.
Who we got first there, Vet?
Well, let's see. The first person to comment is, of course, Elizabeth. Hey, guys. Canada Spaceman's here. Lab Rat's here. Javi. You say it, Colin.
I just had a nice, delicious swig of Coke. Javi. Uchiha. Yes, Liz. It's
nice
some very good ASMR going on. Vet, can you do the rest of the chat acknowledgement in ASMR fashion? Vet, can you do that? Can you do that?
No, fuck that. Fuck that. We got Buckshot Kid is here. And
sitting at home.
And of course we got Sir Jam here. Very nice to see Sir Jam. He doesn't always get to join us, but when he does, it's a good time. So yeah, that's what we got so far.
We got Sotos over there, and Buckshot Kid, I think. I don't know if Buckshot Kid's in the...
Already said that. Thank you very much. Do we have anybody in Twitch?
Well, I didn't know if Buckshot Kid was over in Twitch, but Sotos, 13LOL6 says, "Oh my God, hi, good morning, cuties." And I don't know if that's a Knuckles emoji or just an anime girl emoji. I can't tell.
Either one's fine.
What do you think is being done on Lab Rat this evening?
They're thinking of adding more ingredients to the Mexican Cokes. And they want to make sure that, it doesn't upset the delicate balance.
I'm actually going to be mean. I think they've got his eyes done like the Clockwork Orange, like they're peeled open where he can't close them, and they're making him watch old Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun matches over and over and over on repeat.
Because there were so many, and we just have so many memories of. And maybe one of these weeks we'll get like a Impact will take a week off and they'll give us a Best of Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun match episode.
You know what Big Ray thinks about the Clockwork Orange House of Fun matches?
What's that?
It's fucking awesome.
He would think that. You know that. Come on. He would think that. Ironically.
Think that. Yeah.
Or unironically.
Yeah, so anyway, that's who we got going on in the chat right now.
Did you see Tony Khan hugging his talent awkwardly?
Yeah, I did. But I'm way more okay, look. I don't care about Tony Khan's hugging and any of that shit. Anybody, as you know, anybody can look bad in a still photo. And often Tony Khan looks bad in video. Not as bad as what Colin's doing right now, but
Claudio, you smell so great.
Can we?
Did you see him hugging Okada? Come on, Vet. That is inappropriate. What he was doing when he hugged Okada.
Bro, I don't. No, I don't. None of that matters. What really matters, is how the New Japan Pro Wrestling Company got jobbed out on Forbidden Door. Like,
just like Impact.
It shouldn't be. Of course they did. It should be like they should have thrown enough wins in New Japan's way to make it worthwhile. They beat everybody so bad. I was like, well, I guess Tanahashi's winning this as like the final swerve, because that's the only way you could have been leading up to this. But no.
That's why they don't do these things. That's why you don't have the Forbidden Door, because one person just stomps a mud hole all over the other one because my guys have to get over. I mean, that's why people didn't work with Vince back in the day, because everybody knew that Vince would want his guys to get over and not NWA guys and not New Japan guys and things like that. Come on, Vince.
No.
Tony is little Vince.
No, man. It's not supposed to be like that. And you have to agree.
Tony.
You still have to agree. Tony doesn't call all the shots. Half this show doesn't show up without,
they do
the
when they
say
get
so
that
of the
paycheck
entire
from
other
Tony.
company.
When that other entire company gets that check from Tony, it says Tony Khan, and it has those extra zeros on the end of it, and it literally just says in the notes, "Thank you, jobbers," and he hands that check over to New Japan, and then Geto and Jado go down there, and they're like, in Japanese, they tell them like, "Oh, you will be staring at lights, but big money come to you. You stare at lights," and then everybody stares at the lights.
And then the only person that's the only guy that got over in the whole show. Yeah, maybe. Well, Labrat says half the talent bailed out, wonder why, but a lot of the good talent didn't. Not that the talent that should have bailed out didn't. Yeah, see, the one guy that got over was Jay White. He pinned Adam Cole, and Adam Cole fucked the finish up somehow. I don't know why, I don't know how, but it was clearly like some sort of a, like, I didn't know we were going home early and somebody else did, because the way it played out was Okada went for the Rainmaker, and Adam Cole ducked the Rainmaker and then went down. Jay White slid in the ring, hit the finisher on the Blade Runner on Okada. Okada rolls over. Then he goes over to Cole, who nothing happened to Cole. He just took a knee, ducking the clothesline, and then went to the corner. And then Jay White just grabs him and tries to pin him. And Adam Cole kicks out on 2, and the referee counts to 3, and the match is over. It's like, what the fuck happened here? I think there were probably supposed to be a couple more spots, but it looked like the planned finish was, Cole hits, takes the Rainmaker, then gets pinned. Yeah. Surjam's right. That was what's supposed to happen, basically what I just said. But for whatever reason, something went weird. So the one guy that was getting pinned by a New Japan guy screwed it up. Cole did not get hurt on that slam. Nobody's ever gotten hurt by Okada ever. It's a body slam. He didn't get hurt. He fucked the finish up, and they tried to cover it by saying he was hurt. He's not hurt. Anyway.
That makes a good point. Tony had this book over 20 years ago.
Yeah, I guess for a 20-year-old, he couldn't have known how many of these people would actually be here. So that was good guessing.
Then right here, Okada is going to miss the Rainmaker on Adam Cole, and Jay White's going to get the pin. Like 20 years ago, he knew all this was going to happen.
Yeah.
Actually, I think in his notes he said Kato, not Okada.
Okada. Well, this is all relevant, for anybody that's wondering, because these guys show up on Impact Wrestling. So it has to do with what we're talking about here. You have El Phantasmo was on the show. And speaking of fucking up spots, oh my God, he had this spot where he was supposed to come in the ring, do the whole like turn around and see Sting standing there waiting for him, right? So he's doing the thing where he's backing up slowly, not realizing Sting is there, and Sting just leaves the ring. Fucking Sting left the ring, and El Phantasmo turns around. There's nobody there. Sting goes outside to like grab somebody. Then that person probably said, "Hey, get back in there." El Phantasmo wanted to do that spot. So then they do whatever thing that was supposed to happen, and it was already ruined, but they did it anyway. It's like, this is just, it was kind of bad. It's kind of bad.
You're not selling me on the show, Vet. I don't really want to. I thought you would be able to sell me on wanting to watch it, but I don't really want to watch it.
No. It's
like you've even talked yourself. You're like, you know what? Maybe.
Well, it's too late. It's too late. I wasn't trying to sell anybody on watching it. I was just telling you what I saw. Though there was one good match on the whole thing, and it was on the pre-show, so anybody can go watch it on YouTube. All right.
Version of the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, man. It was Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. They had a hell of a tag team match.
It did look like
it was a good match. The crowd was hyped. They even chanted for Desperado. I'll say that the fans were totally into it. Like they were trying to enjoy the show.
You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
As Sonic the Hedgehog enters the chat. And some of the matches were good, but overall it should have been a little more even-handed, especially considering that how they were going to go off the air with the disappointment of Jon Moxley being a champion. Like, talk about disappointing. It would have made perfect sense. It would have made perfect sense for Tanahashi to be the interim champion so that he could come back, have the match with CM Punk, and lose the unification match to CM Punk. Meanwhile, over there in Japan, he gets to carry an AEW belt around for however many weeks, months, or however long it takes to promote AEW in Japan. That would have been the way better idea for Tony Khan, the promoter, to say, "Hey, take my belt to Japan and come back and, we'll do the business for the real championship." What does Jon Moxley being the interim champion have to do with any fucking thing? If anybody has an answer for that, please, type it in.
I don't know why he's interim champ. Why is he interim champion again?
Yeah, he's already been the main champion. He's been the champion of AEW. He doesn't need to be a quasi champion of AEW. That doesn't do anything for anybody. So, yeah,
just doesn't sound like a good show. I mean, I saw where Ben was talking about kind of the storylines were just coming from all over the place. Like there wasn't necessarily Like it's if you're watching it as someone who doesn't know anything about any of these companies, you're like, why are these guys wrestling each other? Kind of thing. And I get that.
Well, if you're watching it, then you're watching the wrong fucking show because you wouldn't buy a show or watch a show like this if you didn't know who the people were. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing an event like this, but it has to go a certain way. And the way it went, like, it was just an AEW show. It's it's like a couple or 3 matches too long.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the finishes are whack, but decent matches, I guess, you know. Speaking of jobbed, the one match that had nothing to do with New Japan was Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. And Tony Storm might have been like an AEW dark wrestler or somebody that they would get to face Masha Slamovich. She just got beat up for like 10 minutes and then Rosa went over. I was like, what the fuck happened here? What the fuck happened here? I couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, are you kidding me? Do you know who this is? Really? Thunder Rosa? Really? Like she couldn't lace Tony Storm's boots. But even if you were trying to get Thunder Rosa over, that's not how you do it. I mean, that was pretty bad. It's bad enough you couldn't get one wrestler from Stardom to come over. Can you imagine the pop if you could have got like Kairi Sane to come over and wrestle Thunder Rosa? You know, that would be another good middle finger to the WWE, right? If that's, you know, he likes throwing middle fingers to the WWE. So, you know, but
on the Impact front, Vet, we had Lady Frost requesting her Impact Wrestling release. Now, Brandon wanted to talk about something else, but here we have Lady Frost getting her released asking for her release while another female superstar, Giselle, is on the rise, and she comes out as being transgender in Impact Wrestling.
Now, what does she do? Does she just like tweet this? Or
yeah, she had you know how they hold press conferences for these types of things? I mean, the Young Bucks did it. The Young Bucks did it all through the beginning of AEW and everything. They just held random press conferences in Chicago, everywhere, that Ross Berman and Nick Houseman would go and attend. But I guess she just tweeted it out. It's Pride Month. It's time to come out to the world.
All right. Well, it really, if you want to talk about these news items, you got to be on the show. So I don't know.
I
stalled
get that.
long enough.
I get that, but I'm just talking about Lady Frost. Ben liked her. So in the producer chat, we were talking about it, and Ben likes her. Ben feels like she's a good hand. She's got a good look. She knows her character.
She's not a good hand. Let's stop that right now. Let's stop that right fucking now.
I was like, the vet's like not gonna like that, but she's somebody that you could probably build something around, right? You feel like you could build something around Lady Frost?
No.
If you got your hands on her and you worked with her?
If I did, yes. And obviously not in the way that like a Vince McMahon or a Johnny Ace would get their hands on her. I'm just...
Oh, God, no. You don't need to sign an NDA when you work with the vet.
No. I'm a perfect gentleman. But yeah, well, I mean, I like Lady Frost just because she was not the greatest. She still had time to learn. I suppose I could ask... Well, the person to ask about this would be John Enright because, you know, he's got ties to Lady Frost and maybe he knows something about it. But
he's too busy with the
main roster
over there to come hang out with us Impact guys.
Or not
Smack Attack.
Because there was no Smack Attack again this week.
You were with them last week though.
Yeah, they didn't. I guess McIver got sick again, and nobody called me up, so no Smack Attack. But in any case, yeah. So when he was down at the during WrestleMania weekend or whatever it was, wasn't it? Yeah. He was hanging out with the Savage Gentleman and Lady Frost and showing them around town and everything like that. So he might he might have got an inkling of what might have been up. But it's weird because they mentioned Lady Frost here on this episode of Impact, and which may have been taped before. Because if she requested a release, I don't really think.
Yeah, it was recent. It was like this week, so they would have already had these taped.
Yeah.
Vet, since it is the 20th anniversary of Impact Wrestling, and you talked about John Enright having an in with people, the guy that I know that fought in the UFC, he trains people now for a living, and he trains a former Impact knockout, Lady Tappa, who is a professional boxer now, and he trains her living in Charlotte, and I think her husband does some character work and stuff like that, like does halftime shows with the Hornets and things that he does, but that's pretty cool. Lady Tappa. Why didn't they bring her in? They should like bring her in and have her beat up some people.
I don't know. Whatever. I haven't thought about that name in a long time. Has she had a pro fight yet?
Yeah, she's actually, I think she's undefeated right now. Let me see if I can find her. She is 4 wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw. So at the age of 39, she's actually, that's when she's been most recently fighting. It says she's has a current streak of 2 losses, but I don't see how.
I thought she had a streak of 0 losses.
Unless this is MMA or something like that. Oh, yeah, it looks like this was maybe MMA or something. Because it says she lost to Gabrielle Garcia, and then she lost to Reina Miura, and then she beat Portia Hines and Monica Harrison. I don't know how accurate Tapology is, though, with their boxing stats and stuff like that. Let me see if I can find a Wikipedia.
Well, I really think that nobody really wants to know about Lady Tappa's combat sports record. I'm quite sure. Should we just get right into the main?
Yeah, let's
review?
do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. So first and foremost, guys, We Own the Night is back. All right. No more of that bullshit remixed version of whatever.
Just take it in for a moment, man.
I'd rather
It's
not.
back.
It's not that I'm happy it's back. I'm just reporting the news.
You know, it's much like the Impact Attack. We own the night. You know, like we're here early, you know, Tuesday morning, late Monday night in California. You know, we are here. We own the night. Impact Wrestling, the Impact Attack.
Canada Spaceman says, Cena made a boring speech in ring for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it's John Cena. What the hell do you think he's gonna do? Can you turn that down, man? Get another strike on the channel from Anthem.
You can't get a strike for this.
Might be able to.
Strike.
So Otter No More takes the show over. And
whoa! We had a Slammiversary recap package.
No,
there,
yeah,
sir.
we all know they had a Slammiversary recap. Can you believe it? John Cena showed up at Slammiversary and talked for 10 minutes. It was crazy. And then
Take on the Fiend.
Yeah, Honor No More. They get in the ring. They use a nice little camera angle to shoot them here. They tease blaming PCO for losing.
They did.
Slammiversary.
They did. I wish Brandon was here because his Vincent PCO spinoff thing is happening. It looked like because Vincent's wearing the white, so they're painting him as like this good guy already kind of thing, and he's like, whoa, hey man, hey, you know I brought PCO on for Honor No More, man. That's why he's here, man.
Yeah, so he's not so much of a Rob Zombie. He's more of a Tommy Chong, is what you're saying.
Kind of more of a time. It's what he sounded like in the ring.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's not cool, Mickey Matt Taven.
Yeah. So, Yeah, Liz says she missed the first 30 minutes of Impact. I don't think you missed it, Liz. If you know what I mean.
Only faces wear shoes.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, America's Most Wanted has had enough of this, and they come out.
They interrupt.
They interrupt.
They're not having it.
This is an interruption, and
but you know who else comes out?
Yeah, I do. I'm getting to that. Would you like to do this part? I can just hand it back over.
Yeah, I'll lead. We'll get your expert take on all of this.
Society Reviews has missed the last 6 months of Impact. Good man.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. But you know what you didn't miss if you watched this episode. The Good Brothers come out to back up James Storm and old Chris Harris. Chris Harris, who made a promise to his family, he's not going to fight anymore, Vet. I'm not going to do it. His wife's like, don't go out there and fight, Chris. I got to. And his daughter's like, no, Daddy. No, don't go fight anymore. He's looking in her eyes.
None of this happened, by the way.
He's like, I won't go fight. That's how they're painting it. It's exactly how they painted it in this episode.
They didn't care enough. You're painting it. You're doing more work than they did. You're working hard, Colin. You're not. Are you getting an Impact check?
You get your stuff. Brandon gets his booking. Why can't I book Chris Harris and James Storm?
Oh, you can. I'm just saying they didn't do it. I'm just saying this didn't happen on the show. That's all.
Why it happened on BTI? Okay.
Oh. BTIA, Behind the Impact Attack.
Yes, it happened on Behind the Impact Attack, which none of you will ever see.
Right. Much it was just you in your closet scribbling on a notepad furiously
in my angry room.
Right. Don't worry. This will be a pay-per-view crossed with Game Changer Wrestling one day in 20 years.
It will be. But you know what? After the Good Brothers and James Storm hit the ring and they leave Chris Harris on the outside, they all get beaten up. As they're getting beaten up, the Briscoes come. Come and make the save. They're cool with the Good Brothers. And they're cool with James Storm and Chris Harris, apparently.
Yeah, everyone's best friends now because they had a beer once.
So now I'm shipping because it looks like we're going to get like a Good Brothers, Briscoes united front here. So we're going to ship them, Vet. I call them the Good Briscoes.
That's gross, and I'm not with it. So, do that. Proceed at your own risk with that. Now, let me take over the next part before I give it back to you, okay? Because if you remember what I said, there was a deadline, okay, about these motherfucking lights, right? You all heard me. Slammiversary was the cutoff point. So now the gloves are off because the lights are here, and until they finally get rid of these things and stop trolling me personally it's the only reason they're there. There can't be any other aesthetic reason why you would put these lights on the floor. So from now on, I'm just going to be ruthless. And here we go. So Giselle, okay, who we already talked about a little bit, she brings Alisha a cupcake, all right, which that makes no sense or has nothing to do with anything. So now it's gotten to the point with Fat Eddie that people have to sneak food to Alisha while Eddie's preoccupied. So while he's out there in the ring getting, chased off by the Good Brothers, but quite before he comes backstage, they're like bringing Alisha food. Like, here, honey, here, eat this. Eat this while Eddie's out there. I mean, what other reason could there be? When is her gimmick cupcakes? This is a yes or no to you, Colin. Is Giselle's gimmick cupcakes?
Apparently, she's Misha Tate. She's the quintessential cupcake diva.
That's not a yes or no.
No, she's not.
No, it's not. Okay, have we ever seen cupcakes on Impact before?
No.
Since we've been covering it.
Not since Tommy Dreamer's been fired.
Okay. So, other than our jokes that we all three have made about Alisha starving because Eddie's eating all the food, what purpose could this possibly serve? This is a message. It's like they're sending a message saying, we're taking your joke about Alisha not eating, and we're putting the lights in the scene. That's what I'm seeing here. Tell me I'm wrong.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I think you're right.
All right, go ahead. Continue with the show.
Okay. Well, after we get that, we've got Honor No More backstage with Scott. They're very angry, and Scott's wearing purple. Matt Taven's wearing purple, and there's just so much purple going on. It's like Grimace, and they want them Briscoes. They want them Good Brothers. They want a piece of James Storm and Chris Harris. So tonight, the main event of your Impact Attack, we get the Briscoes and James Storm versus Honor No More in a 6-man tag match booked by Scott D'Amore. Your thoughts of it?
I had no thoughts. My entire notes for what you just said was Scott makes a 6-man tag for later.
Holla holla. Then we go back to the ring as we have Deanna with Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim and her dance crew. But you like how I put that. It's not actually Deanna that's wrestling. No, she's on commentary. She's got Chelsea Green now following her around like a puppy dog. Chelsea Green takes on Mia Yim. Deanna on commentary. Mickie James comes down, and Mia Yim wins with the defeat. Why didn't the dance crew stay out there again, Vit? Another week, the dance crew runs off. Not there to help Mia Yim. Even though she didn't need it, she seemed to easily vanquish Chelsea Green here, who matched Deanna Purrazzo.
Guess so. I guess. Yeah, Mickie came out and attacked Deanna simply because Deanna pushed Mia off the top rope. I mean, I don't know if that's a good enough reason to come all the way out from the back, but she did. So, yeah, maybe it's just me or maybe it's like her new gear, but Chelsea looked a little meatier in this.
They told her that
maybe they've been sneaking. Maybe she's been taking cupcakes too.
Well, they told her she needed to put more meat on the bone so she doesn't break her wrist. Literally every match that she has. They're like, "Can you fatten up your wrist area, please?"
Was she Popeye?
Fatten up those wrists, please.
That's funny. But yeah, so hey, if Brandon's not here, I'll just say Chelsea looking amazing as always.
Hang on, wait. Let me I'll say it.
Chelsea looks amazing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. She does. She looked good. They even commented on them twinning a little bit there with their outfits. So yeah, like I said, Yim wins, and we go backstage yet again. Gia with the influence, Madison with a broken nose, and Tenille with a little bit of amnesia, not remembering what happened during the match, with her head colliding with Madison Reigns and them losing to Rosemary and Taya. And in walks Giselle. It's a big Giselle episode, Vet.
No cupcake this time.
No cupcake, but she wants to work with the influence, but the influence wants something from Giselle, and they want her to take out Taya or Rosemary. Either one, doesn't matter, or both, whichever, your pick. Pick your poison, which one you ever want to take. And they kind of leave Giselle there to end that backstage segment. So who do you think is the easier target for Giselle? I mean, you have the size and the power of Taya, and you have the undead abilities of Rosemary. Which ones do you want to contend with?
Well, if there's a tray of cupcakes laying around, I'm not gonna go for Taya and get in between her and those. It's probably safer with Rosemary, even with the dark dimension.
There was a pile of dead bodies. What would you do?
Still probably Rosemary. She just seems so nice.
Even with the pile of dead bodies, she's like over there like feasting. You're like, oh, she's so cute, sweet, nice.
Yeah.
Look at her. All right. Well, we go back to the ring for a very fun match. We go from Bhupinder Gujar being paired with Morrissey on Morrissey's way out to Gujar and Shark Boy, the tag team we didn't know we always wanted.
Well, they're really testing him. Like, how good is
versus-
this Gujar kid? Like,
Versus the Swingin' Zik.
yeah.
Gujar and Shark Boy over with Gujar pinning Zicky.
Yeah.
Anything about this match you want to talk about?
No.
All right. Well, VBD comes down and attacks everyone, which was deserved. Diener promo interrupted by Alexander. So no Eric Young. It's just Diener and Doring. The double Ds are out attacking everyone. And Alexander grabs Diener while he's trying to walk away. And Doring attacks. They beat down the champ who has no friends. He's got no friends that, because, you would think that if you had friends, somebody would come down and save you, right?
It's lonely at the top.
He didn't need friends, though, Vet. Because he had...
Guards! More guards!
They came down to the ring to save him. But they paid the ultimate price as they themselves took an ass beating at the hands of Joe Doring and Cody Diener. And as Joe Doring was about to finish one of those poor...
Guards! More guards!
Right there on the ring, Diener said, "No, brother. No, brother. Don't destroy this one. Don't kill this one. You leave. I'm going to take Josh Alexander on right now. Right now."
Yes.
What are you going to tell everybody that didn't happen?
In our,
You're going to tell everybody that? I'm making that up, Vet? Being emotional and making that up? Huh?
No, all that
TIA?
all that happened, and but Diener was making it seem like it was spontaneous when they already announced the match earlier.
It's supposed to be later on in the evening. He's doing it now.
Yeah. Well, it was later on from when they announced it, so technically.
Apparently, Canada Spaceman is talking about Johnny Depp. We're talking about Impact Wrestling tonight, Canada Spaceman, not the Johnny Depp trial, which is over. Yes,
he's bored. Lab Rat with the comment, "Whale Shark Boy." Pretty
Whale
good.
Shark Boy, yes, he's
Give it
very,
up. That's
very,
a 9 out of 10
very
comment if I ever heard one.
Well, of course, Alexander wins with an ankle lock. Vet, your
course he
thoughts
does.
on this match?
It was fine. I didn't really watch it. So the main thing that I took away from this is I got a new bingo item that I had forgotten. So that's the most exciting part. Now, for those of you who have been following along, you know that we've been building a bingo card and we're pretty close to the end. And one of the things that I forgot to add to our sports entertainment bingo list is what I call the holy trinity of announcer cliches that, they come from the WWE, let's face it. These are things that probably Vince McMahon-isms, right? What?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I can't hear you when you try to talk while I'm talking. What did you say?
I said, by God, and he's broken in half.
Well, that's a Jim Ross. That's a Jim Ross special. But I'm talking about the guys that are just the mannequins that are programmed by Vince.
When they say like
so,
stupendous and stuff like that.
So here are the holy trinity. You tell me if I'm wrong about any of these being in a holy trinity of cliches. The first one is what we hear from Tom during this about the VBD beating people up. Okay, the numbers game. Okay, if you hear an announcer say numbers game, you're a hack. The other ones are perhaps on instinct alone, usually referring to a kick out. And finally, the classic, he's got to be thinking, what do I have to do to beat this guy? All right. If you hear any of those, or all three, you could get a bingo. So we got a new item. We're only 4 away from a full card.
Sorry, I was reading what Canada Spaceman wrote. It's all about Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not even about the Depp trial.
Right.
Well, whatever. Next, we've got Frankie Kazarian backstage with Gia. Excited for Slammiversary, yada, yada, yada. Jordan Grace promo after from after Slammiversary, their match. Thanking the women. And then Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans backstage. It's Tasha Steelz promo with a rematch at Against All Odds, but only if Grace can get through Savannah Evans next week. So a non-champion calling the shots of what the champion's gonna do.
Yeah, what is that about? Like, I get a rematch if you go through my bodyguard. What kind of backwards ass booking is this?
Because she couldn't get her bodyguard in the match, so now she's got to go through her bodyguard yet again just to get beat down one more time.
This should be a thing. This should be a thing where Scott says something like, "If Savannah can beat Jordan Grace, then Tasha can have a match or whatever." And then that could be a thing where it's like, if Savannah does beat Jordan Grace, which she wouldn't, she could say, "Well, why does Tasha get the match and I don't get the match?" And you could start splitting them up, because you want to split them up. You already know you want to split them up, guys in Impact. You know you don't want Tasha and Savannah to be together, so might as well start teasing it now. But anyway, whatever they do, it's not my job to book their show. It's Colin's job to book their show. And it's not even his job to book their show. But the booking you're doing, it fucking sucks, quite frankly. When the fuck has a heel challenger ever said, "I can have a shot if you beat my henchman"? This doesn't make sense on any level. They've done every possible thing wrong in this. So, whatever.
Jay Hall in the chat. What's up, Jay Hall? Just in time for Sammy versus a jobber.
Yeah.
Selfie coming down. Sammy coming down with the selfie harness. Not a selfie stick. It's a selfie harness.
Remember that MTV show Fear?
Yes.
Okay.
They have since upgraded that technology though, but that was the first kind of like selfie stick. They had the selfie harnesses and stuff on there. Yeah. Sammy over the jobber. Then we get the savior and patron of the show, Moose, with the spear from behind. Moose exacting his revenge from monster balls all over Sammy's face. Vet, this was your favorite part of the show here.
Yeah, after hearing our show last week on Slammiversary, Moose decided to come out and add some chair shots and a table bump that should have happened at the pay-per-view. You know, it's a little late, and it's a little after the fact, Moose. I'm glad that you were thinking of it, but it really should have happened at Slammiversary here. It doesn't matter anymore. You already got jobbed, so this doesn't erase that. It's very unfortunate. Next time, be more proactive in the moment. And when somebody's laying out a shitty match to you, use your authority and say, "No, we're not doing that." You know, do whatever the AEW guys did at the New Japan Forbidden Door show, where they got whatever they wanted.
Have Tony pay Scott D'Amore a lot of money for Moose to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
What you want him to do?
Whatever it takes.
Okay. Well, the Legends are backstage with the good Briscoes. They get pumped up for their match. And right as everybody's about to leave, Chris Harris is about to walk out there. And James Storm pretty much corroborates everything that I said at the start about the issues that Chris Harris has. You did it. You said no. And your daughter's like crying. And you looked in her eye. And you said, "You know what? I can't fight anymore." You picked up the phone. You dialed James Storm's phone number. And you called James Storm and you said, "James, I can't wrestle no more, James. I can't do it. I can't let you go out there, Chris. I can't let you." So Chris just stayed in the back, just like sad that he couldn't go out. Gotta keep my promise. But I guarantee you, Vet, he's not going to keep that promise, because he's going to look at his daughter. He's going to look her in the eyes, Vet. And he's going to be like, I saw pain. They were hurting my friend James. And I saw the pain that they were inflicting on my friend James. And I thought about you, sweetheart. And I had to go save my friends. Like I would save you.
For the people that didn't see, that her daughter was not there, but
she was there. In our hearts.
Yeah, in our hearts.
Minds, Vet.
But just for clarification, just in case anybody didn't watch the episode, she wasn't physically there. She wasn't standing there. He was looking in the eyes of his own heart to see her eyes, I guess, but not there. And she should have been there. You know why? Because the whole time, the background looks like a goddamn motherfucking Easter basket with these pastel colors all over it. So, you know, you could have hid some eggs and stuff for her to find while she entertains herself back there while her dad can't fight. The best part of this was Mark Briscoe teaching James Storm redneck kung fu. Like that was the best part, and it was just a throwaway thing at the very beginning. That
Forces of nature is what I'm talking about here, people. Science,
The
science.
science of kung fu. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like this.
Yeah. Right. So it's something like that. I mean, he should show you.
I'm
probably
not.
too.
I gotta watch it again a couple times to get it down, but I'll
right.
come back next week and I'll have it.
Okay. Well, next up. Okay, I'll take this one. Gail gives Sami Callihan his Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun match because that's more sadistic than a Monsters Ball.
You didn't do
right?
this segment justice.
And
Sammy comes back and he just breaks the door down expecting Scott to be there. But no, Scott's not in his office. Gil Kim's there. It's a Sammy's surprise. Take it away.
Yeah, that not too pertinent to the situation, but just as I say the sentence, Gail gives Sammy a Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun match at Against All Odds. As I say it out loud, I realize I want to quit watching American wrestling and podcasting.
Yeah, I don't
It's
get
things like that make me like question what I'm doing here.
But I don't get why they glorify Clockwork Orange so much. It was in the new Space Jam movie. Apparently, like, there's a scene where there's all these Warner Brother characters standing around, and the Droogs
Yeah,
are
it's
like
the main basketball game.
They're standing there like on the side, right? And it's like, this is a movie about a guy who is a serial gang rapist who kills people, that gets tortured who goes through conversion therapy basically to change his life, and then can't listen to a certain song that is like one of his favorite songs that drives him insane because of how they tortured him to fix him of all his ill will. But yet here we are with the Clockwork Orange match. So are people going to get hit with dicks? Are we going to see what we saw at that indie show this weekend? Is somebody going to pull a dildo out and hit somebody with it? You know, are people coming out in cod pieces with like lines drawn on their eyes? Is this what's going to happen? Because you can't sit
Top
here and
hats
say
and canes.
yeah, you
That's what
can't sit
it'll
here
be.
and say Clockwork Orange match and not play Beethoven. You know, not have any kind of dick anywhere in the match. You know, have they ever watched Clockwork Orange?
Well, Raven probably did.
It's probably too.
I don't know if Sammy's ever watched it. Raven's seen it.
Did Sammy spit on Gail?
That's what Buckshot Kid says. I wouldn't doubt him. Probably just like talking, he means. Just by him talking out loud, spit is flying out of his mouth and landing on Gail.
You can't vet. Trips is back.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll stick around for American Wrestling to see my favorite wrestler, Triple H. Don't worry, guys, I'm not going anywhere. Don't get scared. Triple H is back.
Guess who's
It's all about
back?
the game and how you play it.
Back again. Trips is back. Tell a friend. All right, well, I guess.
Fat Eddie's back. Tall Ace Austin with Mickey Mouse gloves is back. Tan Oni Lorcan is back.
Or Honor No More versus the Briscoes and James Storm to end the show here. And the team that you think goes over here is not the one that you would think goes over. Honor No More steals it with the Briscoes taking the pin here. Very surprised that James Storm wasn't the one taking the pin here. Oh, and we're going to have NXT 3.0.
He's like, James Storm is like, I didn't come back to take no pin.
They should have had
I can
Chris
see
Harris
that sentence
take the
actually
pin.
being said.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so the OGK guys have no idea how a false tag works. This will be my teaching portion of the day.
Professor Vet.
Yeah, they have no idea how a false tag works. nor does this ref know how it works, whoever he is. I've never seen him before in my life, but he's here in a main event on Impact. So, normally on a false tag, what happens is the ref is distracted, babyfaces make the tag, they start to come in, then the ref catches them coming in and says, hey, I didn't see it, and puts them back, like, say, hey, you can't come in here. Well, in this instance, he made the tag, and both the Briscoes got all the way over to the heel corner and basically touched the ref before the ref turned around and put it back. So, yeah. You fucked it up. Real bad. Maybe work on that if you're going to call yourself a tag team of any kind. So I guess this is their way of getting their heat back. Just winning. Pinning Mark Briscoe and Pillmanizing his leg with the chairs and everything like that. Like, oh, look, even though these guys lose every match, they're a threat. Oh, look.
Now that means Chris Harris has to come back because they fucked up Mark Briscoe's ankle. Now Chris Harris has to step in and be a Briscoe. It's science. Magnetism.
Science.
Arr, 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 arr.
Yeah. But,
Vet, I think that ref, as I said in the chat, won an Impact Wrestling Ref for a Day contest. Does that make more sense?
I believe it.
But it was only valid in Canada and not in the continental United States. That's probably why we didn't hear about it. Canada Spaceman probably knew about it, but we didn't.
The contest may have only been valid, but I'm pretty sure this match took place in the States, so maybe this could be a contested verdict here. Like, I think the Briscoes could get this overturned if
we had an illegal alien ref in our match. Somebody check it. James Storm's out there. Check his ID.
Yeah. So all in all, this I'm not too excited about any of the prospects of business set forth by this episode, really. I don't want to see no Clockwork Orange match. I don't want to see, even if it is Moose, like, I don't want to see him go through this shit. We never saw if Giselle took anybody out. So that with the promise of her maybe teaming up with the Influence was like the carrot on the stick for that. Was like, hey, you could team up with us if you do this hit job. She didn't do it here. So, what are they going to come back next week? It'd be like off screen. Rosemary had an accident, and then now Giselle just gets to be in there.
Cupcake laying on the ground.
Just a cupcake laying on the ground and some pastel lights and just, yeah, man. I'm not gonna take it easy on this show anymore. I've been trying to be nice. If I know some of you that are listening are probably like, you call that nice? Yes, I was nice the past few months. Until they get rid of those lights, it's going to be gloves off. It's gloves off. Gloves are off. Even Moose isn't safe now.
He's not.
Or the Briscoes. Nobody's safe. If you fuck up, you're getting called out. By some, not even a has-been, a never was, a nobody on a podcast somewhere.
Be nice to yourself.
I am. That's the most politically correct way I can put describing my career. So, well, yeah, that's it. That's what we got. What else? What else is there?
I mean, that is it for Impact Wrestling. Vet.
No run-ins.
We've got Against All Odds, July 1st on Canada Day. They forget that Dave was behind me. I keep scaring everybody with Dave Meltzer, my good buddy Dave. He flew me out to Japan for Wrestle Kingdom. I think he kind of tricked me though, because it's still months away. It's months away. You son of a bitch! You fucking son of a bitch! All right, well, I'll have words with him after the show. I think the only other thing was that pretty much the Against All Odds. They set up a couple matches for Against All Odds, and
yeah, that's what that's this weekend coming up.
Yeah, this weekend.
It's like Saturday.
God, they had another fucking. Didn't they just have a fucking?
Yeah, it was called Slammiversary.
Christ,
you have too many damn shows. And Money in the Bank is this weekend too.
So that I saw something very entertaining while I was driving around today.
No, you didn't. You live
I
in North
did.
Carolina.
I know. Well, that's the thing. North Carolina is slowly becoming a lot like California.
Don't ever say that. You
You
have
know,
no idea what California's
no,
like.
no. Well, when you see this sketch, I can imagine that it's much like this. So it was raining today,
Okay.
and the homeless man, I'm assuming he's homeless. I don't really trust beggars in this area because I've seen them get out of cars and go stand on the corner.
Right. It's a job. It's a job.
Yeah, this guy was in the median in the middle of the road while it's raining, and he was wearing a refrigerator box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all he was wearing. Like you, I guess. So legit vet right here, the little triangle part that that's the dark part. You couldn't even see him. You could just see his little boots and his shins. And he's just walking up and down the road. And I guess people are giving him money and he's taking it in through the little black hole at the top. But he's staying 100% dry. His little, the
It's
box
like a
is,
Dropbox for donations.
yeah, the box is drenched. So he's been out there for a long time, right? But he's just in his box, walking up and down, I guess just seeing through his little peephole. You can't see him or nothing. And I'm like, I need to turn around so I can get a picture of this, but I never ended up going back that way. But I'm just like, really, this is peak. I'm surprised this guy is not on the internet somewhere viral. People seeing him on the side of the road.
You could have been the guy, man. You should have.
What if he had golden voice?
You should have got the footage, and you could have been the guy to start the virus.
I wonder if Colin's gonna get hugged. I am gonna get. Dave's gonna lick me. He's gonna be like, ah.
Yeah, he won't even try. It'll just happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So what? Why are you saying? Why are you saying that has to do with California? Because we have a homeless problem in California.
Yeah, but how many people do you see walking around with boxes on them like that protecting themselves from the rain?
Unfortunately, it doesn't rain as much here, so not as many. Sometimes these people have creative signs, that they write, but yeah, man, anybody can go out there and panhandle and make a lot of money as long as you have zero pride, That's all you got to do. I know these people ain't broke. They just this is their job.
Ray has zero pride, and he doesn't even panhandle.
Exactly. So he'd make a great panhandler. But he also has no patience. So the first time somebody drove by and didn't give him some change, he'd be like, oh, "Fuck, these people are all assholes," and he'd just leave. Right?
Fucking 35 cents? Really?
Yeah.
35 cents? I've been standing out here goddamn 3 hours. Fucking 35 cents.
Yeah. What am I supposed to give 35 cents? You kidding me? Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, that's a problem. But for all you guys out there, never give money to a homeless person. Don't ever. Unless you know them personally and you know that they're destitute, don't give anybody money. In fact, even if you know people, don't give money. Don't give your family members money. Don't give anybody any money. Just keep all the money. Be like Danhausen. Keep all the money. Okay?
Bro, my son has an obsession with money, and I don't know where he got it from, because his mom's like, I don't know where he got it from, but he is like, he hears money. If you say money, he's like, monies? There's monies? And I'll come home and he'll go straight to my pockets. He'll be like, monies? You got monies? He is just, I'm glad, because I want
started
him to
early.
just start stacking money, right? Be a millionaire by the age of 10. That would be great. But,
just don't do crypto like your daddy.
Hey.
Go with real money. Real.
So gold and silver?
Well, silver plated.
Gold and silver?
Yes, just little quarters, some paper dollars. Yeah. Do it. Don't give the government money. Don't give anyone any money.
Unless it's paying your taxes. That's the only time you need to get.
No, don't even do that. Don't even give them that. Shit, the government pays me taxes, so that's fine. But yeah, so I guess that's it for the Impact Attack.
That is it for the Impact Attack.
You can You can find me everywhere at Opinion Haver. So we see the sad Naruto cat there. If you're watching on channelattitude.com or live on YouTube, that time that they made a mistake and Colin thought he was a billionaire.
It's never going to
Also
come
there.
back. It's
Yep.
never going to come back. Never going to be a billionaire again.
It's all right. You never were.
I was. There's the proof right there.
You don't withdraw. You screenshot it. That's the famous quote from you.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And now you're even less than that.
You screenshotted it. You sent it to all your friends. And then
they finally shut down the crypto scam. So
everybody's down like 50 and 60 and 70%. I just saw that.
Yeah.
I'm just scared.
So don't give Colin any money.
Don't give him the money.
Don't give him the money. And don't give me any either unless it's the $4.99 to sign up at channelattitude.com. Other than that, which doesn't go directly to me, keep your money. And then you
if they're buying you video games.
You can I buy my own games, thanks. You can find me on the Next Level Wrestling Review every Wednesday morning with Big Ray Hernandez, who was supposed to be here tonight and once again did not. He
said no thanks when I said I sent you an invite.
Wow. So just a straight up no thanks, even though he was supposed to do it. All right. Well, he'll hear about that on Wednesday morning, and don't you guys miss it. You're going to want a front row seat for his epic meltdown that I caused.
Billy Ray Valentine said, "What you fools talking about?" And I responded, "We're talking about Ray right now on the Impact Attack." So,
too late. We're ending the show. Sorry, Billy Ray. Although Tecmo World Wrestling is a great wrestling video.
No, I saw you tell him that. But me and Billy Ray Valentine, we'll handle Big Ray in the chat. We usually team up against him.
Yeah, you go ahead and team up and spit roast Big Ray in the
we usually do
in the producer chat. You can also find me on
Billy Ray Valentine said Ray is a punk ass busta.
Okay, you're dating yourself a little bit by saying busta, but all right, we'll take it. You could also find me on the I just did an episode. I just did an episode of the Video Game Connection with Homeboy 88 and his partner Ivan. If you guys have listened to the Video Game Connection podcast, they talk about video games. Surprisingly enough, I was shocked. So I was just a guest, and he's worked hard to recruit me to be on that show for the past several months, and I finally said, all right, fine. And so you can hear me on there. And then, let's see, what else do I got going on? Nothing really. Opinion Haver everywhere. Twitch.tv/Opinion Haver. See me play Turtles with Colin sometimes.
I got the last hit on the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Colin won the game. He won the game single-handedly, single-turtledly. So where else can they find you doing things single-handedly, Colin? Not those things.
I don't work at those places that Ray works at. So I called Ray a cracker ass cracker, and Billy Ray Valentine agreed with me that Ray is a cracker ass cracker. You can find me at Colin Wysong on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the lovely and talented April Hunter for the A Show. I don't know if we have a guest this week. We had guests last week. The comic duo of Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon. They draw the heirs of Isildur and a children's comic called, I think, the Misfits Clubhouse. Misfits Clubhouse at Scoot Comics. And they do it's pretty cool what they do, Vet. They do a lot of Kickstarter stuff for their comics, right? But he is big into metal, and they do songs. So like you can while you're reading the comic, it might tell you like to learn more about this character, go and listen to this song, right? And they'll have a song about the character, and you can learn more about like the Smoke Son by listening to this song about Smoke Son and how he got the power to turn into smoke and all that type of stuff, right? Like it's like the way they do things to kind of get you in and stuff. Or for the Kickstarters, he said that like one of the things they did is they made a dice bag that was similar to like the bag that the guy has in the comic books and stuff like that. So like you can hold a piece of the of the comic book and things like that. It's really interesting ways that they market and do some of the things there. And then of course Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
Wait a
Standard.
minute. Wait 1 second. Did April make this connection like when she was at the convention or something?
Yes.
Did she meet them
Yeah,
there?
she makes a lot of connections at the conventions, much like her knowing Alex Saviuk. She met him through her times at the convention. And, they use her as inspiration for things. They won't necessarily say that
boobs and such that they want to draw.
But Red Sonja looks a lot like April if you look at Red Sonja. But even when Alex was on the show, he'll say that, it's not modeled after April, but it looks a lot like April. But they will use
Red Sonja doesn't wear glasses, but
yeah. Superman doesn't wear glasses either, but no, it's not a kid's game. It's like a kid's comic book. At Scoop Comics, you can find that. But they might be making it a game. They announced something about a board game because I was like, it seems like your stuff is very D&D driven. They could probably do a board game, and he said that some of that stuff is in the works, which it seems pretty cool. The artwork is really cool as well. And then what else? Vet, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge. I finally got level 10 with Michelangelo and beat story mode. I've gotten all of the special missions beaten. Now it's just those damn challenges where you've got to like the
beat a level without taking damage.
Or the one where it's like only don't get hit by one obstacle and they just literally fill the whole stage with meteors. Yeah. Like, how are you going to dodge all those meteors and they just come at you all at once?
It's funny how the challenge says don't get hit by more than one obstacle, and then you get hit by an obstacle and it's immediately you fail the challenge. Like, you said more than one.
Because as soon as you because if you pass the meteors, Vet, there's no more obstacles. Really, like there's maybe like one or two, but they're easily avoidable.
Yeah, it's
those damn comets at the beginning of that level and even the first stage. I don't understand how I'm ever going to beat the first stage without getting hit. You got to use a lot of the techniques that I'm starting to get really good with my cartwheels and my escape rolls. And I learned what a flying attack was. So I hit my cartwheel and then I hit X or square or whatever, and I go right into my flying attack. So getting better with the combinations and not getting hit as much. But I like Michelangelo. And who you think I went with my second character?
Well, you dropped in the game as Leo, so I don't know, but
he was just because I wanted to play Michelangelo, but he was already taken.
Splinter.
Nope. It is April, and April's actually
the A show.
the April's actually pretty fun to play. She's got the speed. She wields like the camera thing around, like when you do the heavy swing, she like brings a camera out and hits him with the camera. She's a lot of fun to play with. I didn't think she would be that fun to play with, but she does the dash knee. She hits you with like a high knee. It's
V trigger.
Yeah, it's very Kenny Omega-esque.
And she has her like jumping attack is like the Chun-Li kicks from Street Fighter Alpha.
It's a fun game. I like it. I like the multiplayer aspect. It was fun. I mean, it just seems like it was super easy. And you can have more than 4, right?
You can have 6.
God damn, if there's 6 people, dude, there was no way. Like, that game would be so easy with 6 people out there.
Yeah, it would be challenging if you set on the hard difficulty, but
yeah, that's true.
I had to set on the easy one just to relax and stream. It wasn't.
That's why it was so easy. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to get no sweaty stuff going on that day. Just hanging out.
We could have done it medium, I think.
Yeah, well,
like I said, I got through the medium campaign without having to use a continue.
Yeah. Well, regardless, this is a minutia that the people aren't interested in. They're paying for this. So wrap it up.
Well, they're interested in they support you. They support you with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Where's my wrap it up box? I can't find it. I have Gary. The wrap it up elephant.
Don't count. Let's make it count then.
All right, Gary's making it count. He's giving me those evil beady eyes. Don't look at me like that, Gary. Oh gosh. All right, guys.
He's making
oh,
the wrap it up motion.
Oh god, he's making the wrap it up motion, or he's pleasuring himself. One of the two. You'll never know. Vet. Elizabeth says, "Hey, Gary. We're acknowledging Gary. We're acknowledging the chat. We're acknowledging each and every one of you, and we're acknowledging the end of the show for the Vet. I'm calling Y Song. We will see you next week for another Impact Attack. Yes, Canada Spaceman 1. And put your fingers in the holes for Wednesday. Good night, everybody. Say good night, Vet.